Alright, hey guys, and welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you all the fish I got in the past 2 weeks. Now there's this local fish store, it's about an hour and a half for me, and they did a customer appreciation sale. It's an awesome store, it's locally owned, family owned. The owners are super nice, and they have a ton of livestock, fish supplies, they even have a whole reptile side. It's a really awesome store. I love supporting the business and I love going there whenever I can. So they were doing a big sale. There was like an AquaClear filter swap where you could bring in your old filter and get a new free AquaClear filter. There was 30% off everything in the store livestock wise. And there was also a whole bunch of other sales, like salt was on sale for super cheap. So I went ahead and picked up a ton of stuff there, and I just went ahead and went back to the store a week later and picked up more stuff. So I'm gonna be showing you everything in the video, but first let's roll the clips of the store. So as you can see, it's a really big store. There's tons of stuff in there and it's really awesome to go to. They have so much coral, fish, everything. But now let's go ahead and talk about what I picked up on this most recent trip, and then later in the video we'll talk about what I got last week. Okay, so the first thing that I got on this trip was this like coconut Christmas moss thing. I don't know, it was only $10 and it's like half of a coconut shell and it has this Christmas moss all over it. It's really cool. I'll show you that obviously once it's in the tank. I also went ahead and picked up this coral. It was $10 and it's just like a zoanthid palithoa, some kind of coral like that, a little polyp coral. I also got 10 white cloud minnows. These are feeder minnows, so they're super cheap, but I have a little grow out tank which I'll show you in a second, and I'm gonna grow these guys out to their full grown and throw them in the koi pond. Great cold water fish. Then also for $10 I got a pajama cardinal. It's super washed out, the colors are super like faded right now, but he looks super cool. This guy was super vibrant, and once he gets in the tank he'll look a lot better. And then last but not least, I just got another serving of live brine shrimp. Now live brine shrimp is super beneficial to feed your fish. My saltwater fish, my freshwater fish love it. I specifically bought it for my Copperband butterfly, which I'll show you in a second, who's one of my favorite fish, and he eats this stuff like crazy. I have a thing in our outdoor fridge that's like keeping them alive, which I'll talk about in a second when I go add these in there. But this is just a great live fish food. Once again, super cheap, only $2. I got one of my new favorite fish, my Copperband butterfly fish. This goes about $17. He's awesome. He's eating super good. He's super curious. He's eating frozen food. He's eating that live baby brine shrimp, and he is doing really, really well. These are notoriously hard fish to keep. They have a very, very low survival rate. However, this guy is doing absolutely amazing, and I'm super, super happy with him. Now, the same time, I got a flame angelfish for $35, and exactly 1 week later to the day, he did pass away. He never really ate, and he was hiding throughout the rocks. So it just, you know, he didn't make it. He didn't show any signs of disease or anything, so he looked completely healthy. So I'm not quite sure what happened with him, but unfortunately we did lose that $35 flame angel. He was an awesome fish, and I really hope to get one in the future. I also purchased a trocus snail right there. He was like $2. And then I bought 3 angelfish. It's hard for you to see them just because there's so many other fish, but I did buy 3 angelfish. There's all 3 of them right there. They were like $4 a piece, I think. So I got 3 of them, and I'm hoping I have a male and a female, and I'm gonna breed them over the summer. But right now they're just in this tank chilling out, just growing up a little bit. They're super colorful, super vibrant. I got kind of a variety. We have that one right there. We have the yellow one, we have the silver one, and then we have the black one in the back. So nice color variety, and I hope they do very, very well. Now as for the white club minnows, I already currently have 8 of them that I got last week. They are in this small aquarium just growing out to be big enough to go into the koi pond. Now they do move super fast, so it's kind of hard for you to see what they look like, and they are very small. But they're just small tropical fish, and they do really, really great in colder water. They don't need a heater. They're actually great to keep with goldfish. But of course, because they're so small, I can't focus on them. But they're really pretty. They have like a gold stripe and then a red tail. And then once again, they're super cheap. That's why I love them. So I'm gonna pop this off right here and then put these in here to acclimate. I really hope that water doesn't overflow. Okay, that's close. But I'm gonna go ahead and let those guys acclimate and let the other fish acclimate as well. I got the coral and the pajama cardinal, the saltwater fish, acclimating in the reef tank sump. Quick update down here, actually, I need to get a bigger protein skimmer. I do have this one, but it's pretty small. We still got the UV sterilizer back there. We got some macroalgae in there, all doing good down here. Then update on the saltwater fish, everyone's doing really good. Everyone's eating really good. We did lose that flame angel like I mentioned, but everybody else that we currently have, the Copperband, the box face, the sailfin tang, the clownfish, all of them are doing really, really well. Also last week at that customer appreciation sale, I got of course it's barely focusing, but these are Serpe tetras. They're schooling fish. I got 5 of them. I think it was like $7 for all 5. But they are doing super well in this 15-gallon column tank. This is actually where that new coconut moss thing is gonna go, which I'll show you that later. But this tank is doing really, really well. While everything is acclimating, I guess I can show you the koi pond and the ducks, which you haven't seen in a while. This is the koi pond, looking a little dirty right now. I just cleaned it, filled it up. I cleaned all the filters not too long ago. It's still winter, so all the plants are dead or dying back. So we have to wait till it warms up a little bit for them to come back to life. All the koi are doing really good though. They're just all sticking to the bottom. So everything in here is just kind of dormant right now, and then once it gets a little bit warmer, everything will come back out. I also went ahead and put the PETCO in here because it is warm enough for the PETCO to go back in here. I'm not sure where he is right now. He comes out at night. But we do have the big PETCO back in here. And then unfortunately, as it's slowly starting to warm up, it looks like we got some hair algae going on in here. So we'll have to get that under control. But overall, the pond, it is a little dirty, but it's doing good. And then last but not least, for outside, we have the ducks. The 2 ducks are doing really, really good. Not much to update here. They got out earlier today, so they were running around the grass. But they're doing pretty good. I mean, not much to update here. I have to refill their food because they have an automatic feeder back there. But it was empty, so I just gave them like a metal bowl full of food right down there, which still has some in it. But ducks are doing good. Haven't shown them in a while, but here they are. Also, last weekend at that customer appreciation sale, I did win some test kits. So we have a whole bunch of test kits down here I got for free from a giveaway. I also won some of this 2-part. It's a dosing system. I haven't used it yet because I don't really dose my tank. I just do lots of water changes with high quality salt. Speaking of that, I did pick up another box of salt. It was on sale. It was only $35 for this big box, so I definitely went ahead and grabbed one of those.
One eternity later.
So it's been about 15 minutes and these white cloud minnows are ready to go into the tank. So it's gonna be hard to do with one hand, so I'll just be back when they're all in. Okay, so I just put all the minnows in here. There is now 18 white cloud minnows in this 3-gallon aquarium. Now obviously they'll only be in here for maybe another week or 2. I just want to get them a little bit bigger because they are so small. And then once they're a little bit bigger, they will be able to go in the koi pond and be out there and hopefully breed in the koi pond. I've bred these guys before. They're egg layers, but they're very easy to keep and they're a fun and very cheap fish. I highly, highly recommend them. Okay, so now this right here is basically a brine shrimp holding station. So live brine shrimp are basically sea monkeys, if you didn't know that. It's hard to see them, but they are actually alive. They swim around and they just vibe. Now to keep them alive, what I have in here is salt water and obviously all the brine shrimp. I do feed them phytoplankton because these guys are alive, so obviously you have to keep them fed. But as you can see, these guys are little shrimp that swim around and I just have an aerator in there keeping them alive and, you know, alive. They're in the fridge because it slows down their metabolism and allows them to live longer in captivity. And then I just went ahead and bought more to replenish the stack. So what I do is I take a turkey baster, suck them out like this, and put them in a cup. Then we can go feed them to the reef tank. Now as I take water out, I obviously have to put new water in. So I just go get a fresh cup of salt water and dump it in there to keep it topped off. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean some of these guys out and then we'll go ahead and feed them to the fish. And then I'll just dump these guys right back in here. There, now that they're in the cup, you can see them just a little bit better. But I'm gonna go ahead and run these guys to the reef tank and we can feed everything. Alrighty, so using the Current USA Loop app, I put the tank in feeding mode, which turns off the wave makers and slows the return pump down to 30%. So we have little to no flow in the tank, which is perfect to feed the fish in the coral. Now I'm just gonna suck up these live brine shrimp and we're just gonna put them right in the water. So as you can see, the fish attack him. We have the Copperband right there. This is his main food source. Now these guys are very picky eaters, as I mentioned, so it's really great that I found one that's eating so well. I like to take all these brine shrimp and put them in the rock work. Because they are alive, they will like grab onto the rocks and kind of swim around, and then the fish can naturally pick at them. So as you can see, the fish are going after them, especially the Copperband, because this is literally his favorite food. He will eat frozen foods, but he loves the live stuff more than anything. As you can see, he comes right up and eats it out of the little syringe thingy, the turkey baster. Now that the fish have all eaten, what I can do is take some of this stuff and spray it in the corals. The anemones love it. It is alive, so they can trap it, especially this big elegance coral. So now I'll just take the last bit of it right here, just dump it in. Once again, the fish will go after it. Now all the fish will eat this, as you can see, but it's mainly for the Copperband because I've never fed this food to them until I got the Copperband. So yeah, everything's doing good. That's how we feed the fish. I don't feed brine shrimp every day. I just kind of try to keep it on hand and I give it to them a couple times a week because they really, really love it, as you can see. So here is that 15-gallon column aquarium we saw earlier with the new fish, which were these Serpe tetras right here. But I went ahead and threw in that coconut hut, so I thought I would just kind of show it off and talk about it. So basically this is, I guess, a coconut shell. that has Christmas moss all the way around it. That's what that moss is on top. It's Christmas moss. And it was 10 bucks. I just threw it in there. It's a nice little thing for the fish to swim through. The fish seem to really enjoy it. The pleco's hanging out underneath it. But I think for 10 bucks, it was super cool. It was definitely worth it. And I really like it. I think it's cool. I think PETCO has something similar to this. But like I said, I just got it at that local fish store because I saw it and it was really cool for the 1000th time.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, so it's the next day and I wanted to go ahead and show you the new coral. So there it was. He is, like I think Pauli's. He was 10 bucks. He was super cheap and he looks pretty nice. Very similar to this coral, the purple one in the back that I already have. But nevertheless, for 10 bucks, I could not pass it up. And then the new cardinal fish. But he is doing really good. He's just chilling out right there in the back. And all the fish seem to be happy. He's good, he's super healthy looking, and I think we're gonna have no issues with him. So that's really good. And that's gonna be about it for this video. We got all the fish done, all the fish are doing good, and every fish I bought is still alive except for that unfortunate flame angel from last week. But thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.